Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
The last day and a half has been insane with all the stuff that Elon Musk has exposed, with all of the corruption going on Twitter. And now listening to this video right here from the former head of trust and safety of Twitter. That's right. This person, Yoel Roth, is the former head of trust and safety on Twitter. This is the person that decided who got banned and who didn't get banned. Listening to what they have to say about what happened on January 6th and how hard it was for the content moderators, this is showing you exactly what we were dealing with. And once more documentation comes out about what happened with the banning of President Donald Trump, I can't wait. And we're going to be covering that extensively. But let's listen to what he has to say right here. And I got to say, this is a pathetic human being. A pathetic human being.
Donald Trump.
That one I don't think was a mistake.
January 6th.
So it starts on the 6th, but it also starts prior to that.
That's correct.
In the weeks leading up, in the weeks between Election Day and January 6th, Twitter moderated hundreds. I think the final number ended up as like 140 separate tweets from just at Real Donald Trump that violated various policies.
Yes, he was good at that.
Integrity policy.
Yeah.
Every morning it was a new tweet. Much of it was recirculating some of the same narratives. And all of it was focused on the ultimately false claim that the 2020 election had been stolen. And so we're going into the events of the 6th, and there's that context. There's the centrality of his account in
So you let him get away with it for a long time, in other words.
Well, we'd been enforcing on it, right? So we restricted the tweets. We put warnings on them. You couldn't like them. You couldn't retweet them. But we didn't ban him because it was a relevant part of a moment in American politics.
Right.
The events of the 6th happen. And if you talk to content moderators who worked on January 6th, myself included, the word that nearly everybody uses is trauma.
You don't know the meaning of the word trauma. And this right here, it just shows you the mindset of people that have never worked for anything in their lives. And the fact that the internet, being a content moderator, was traumatic for you, it really means that you have no idea what reality is or the real world. Trauma. Let's listen one more time.
If you talk to content moderators who worked on January 6th, myself included, the word that nearly everybody uses is trauma. We experience those events, not some of us as Americans, but not just as Americans or as citizens, but as people working on sort of how to prevent harm on the internet. We saw the clearest possible example of what it looked like for things to move from online to off. We saw we saw the way that rhetoric about a stolen election was being mobilized on sites like thedonald.win.
Sure.
We saw the trafficking of this content in the fringe parts of the internet, and we saw people dead in the Capitol as a consequence of it.
Why not before?
It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. And let's look what type of person we're dealing with Yoel Roth. Here's Glenn Greenwald. How could anyone claim pre-Musk Twitter was censoring to boost the Dem Party and silence its enemies when its paragon of sober nonpartisanship, Yoel Roth, was in charge of Twitter's censorship regime? The only thing he loved more than banning critics of Dems was Hillary Clinton. And here is some of his tweets right here. Said, I've never donated to a presidential campaign before, but I just gave $100 to Hillary for America. We can't fuck around anymore. I hope every Bernie bro who parroted GOP dog whistles about Hillary all elections spends today deciding how to be useful for the next 4 years. And had the privilege of seeing Hillary in 2014, been waiting ever since. Hashtag I'm with her. And then, of course, this one. Yes, that person in the pink hat is clearly a bigger threat to your brand of feminism than actual Yahtzees in the White House. This is the person that was in charge of trust and safety on Twitter. And you go back, this person was dedicated to getting Hillary in the White House. Dedicated to getting Trump out of the White House. Dedicated. And now we're supposed to just sit back and believe that you were traumatized. You were traumatized. You were traumatized because you're weak. You're a weak, pathetic beta. And thank goodness you're no longer there anymore. Because holy shit, man. I mean, if that's your idea of trauma, then again, you've never lived in the real world ever. What a pathetic piece of garbage. But more and more is going to come out. More and more is going to come out. And we're going to see exactly what the details were of all of this. And I will reiterate what I said in my last video. When this happened to Donald Trump, I kept asking myself, how in the hell are we at a place where the president of the United States of America has been put in this position? How? And it's all coming full circle now. And it's a beautiful thing. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. And we will talk to you later.